Hello.
Hey, Emmy, how's it going?
Hi. Good morning. Good evening.
And it's only me, so good evening.
Yes.
How's everything going?
Uh, Everything is okay.
Nice, that's good. How was your Friday, I should say?
Oh, Friday. It was a disaster, my Friday this weekend.
How
Oh,
come?
um, my laptop. I told my husband we must format my laptop that has 7 years of work on it. And I didn't make backup because he's intelligent in these things. I told him, okay, all the files on the drive. He said, okay. Uh,
Did everything
then
get
when he
erased?
started, yes, he format,
Astaghfirullah al-Azim, Ya Rabbal
yes,
Alameen.
all things. And I told him, okay, this partition we don't want it. Okay, format it. The third one because there is two partitions and two partitions are external and one partition are primary for Windows and something like that. The system files on the main partition, and the second and the third are that have files. I told him, okay, the second partition I want it, the third I don't want it.
Uh-huh.
But it seems the priorities they didn't put it in the list like in priority way.
Mm-hmm.
So we format the the wrong driver.
Oh man.
Yes, I all the time, just all the yesterday I was just crying and fighting with my husband,
No
crying and
way.
fighting, crying and fighting.
There was no way to, there was, I wish you had backed it up somehow. How
Yes, there
much?
is a way. Yes, but Farhan, I just started my work. I have long vacation and I just want to start with my students on projects. So the time is killing me also. The time is important now because the student want at the next week on Wednesday. They want, okay, the full program is خلاص finish.
Yeah.
So I didn't start it yet. Oh, Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, we can only be thankful, right? It could have been a lot worse. This is a recoverable mistake.
Yes.
We can work past this. Inshallah, everything will be okay. But I guess it's something to know for the future. You know,
Yes.
yeah.
No, I told him, this is the backup. I don't have any copy of this, my work. Please, it's 7 years of work. Beware. He said, okay. And I told him, okay, this drive, we don't want it, format it. And just can click format and whoosh, everything is deleted directly without notice. Are you sure you wanna delete this file? No, directly it's formatted. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, yeah, we can't. There are so many other worse situations, but I mean, we have to look everything in context, right? This is something that we can recover from, inshallah. It's not a problem. But
Yes.
your knowledge is still there. 7 years maybe uh, on the files or whatever, but knowledge is still there, so
Yes.
we can still retain that. So yeah, it's good. We can work past these types of examples. So it's been like actually pretty late. I think we can get started with the class. Nobody else has joined.
Okay.
So today we are going to be discussing actually an interesting aspect of grammar that in English we call the imperative tense or the imperative form. And imperative means really it's another way of saying the command form in English. Right. So if you are giving somebody a command, if you are telling someone to do something, if you are ordering someone, we use the imperative form. And
Mm.
when we use the imperative form, we actually keep the verb in its base form. We don't change it. right?
Mhm.
So, for example, the verb to eat. If I want to tell a child, eat your food, I say, eat your food, right? I don't
Mm.
say, eats your food or you eat. I could say, you eat your food, but normally we don't need to include the subject, right? Because you
Yes.
are usually looking at the person you're talking to, or the person that you are commanding or ordering is in uh, will understand that you are talking to him or her, so you don't have to use the subject normally. But open the window, close the door, reformat the correct hard drive, right? Those are all commands, right?
Yes.
Reformat or whatever, work on my computer, finish this job, all commands, right? So, question for you, Emmy. What were the most common things that your parents asked you to do when you were a child? Maybe that you always forgot to do, or your mom had to repeat it all the time for you. You know, what were those things that were told to you, that were commanded?
It's clean the dishes. Please clean the dishes all the time, every day. Yes.
Yeah, right? It's very common. I think it's very common. Children, clean the dishes, clean your room,
Yes, clean your room. Yes.
clean your room, make your bed,
Yes.
right? Make your bed, vacuum the floor, right?
Yes.
All those kinds of activities are things that we use in our normal conversation that we sometimes our parents tell us. For example, my mom tells me comb your hair, right, all the time because my hair never stays normal, uh, and so she always tells me comb your hair, shave your beard, you know, things like that. One time I told my mom when I was like maybe, I don't know, like 13 years old, I started to grow my beard and I wanted to make it long, yani, because it's Sunnah Rasulullah, right? But my mom said, yani, you keep your beard, you have to eat somewhere else. So it was very funny for me. Like, and even to this day, my dad, I have never seen him with a single hair on his face. I don't know if he shaves every morning, if he shaves like every night and every morning. I don't know, wallahi. But I have never seen him with a beard or a mustache. I think it
Oh,
kills my mother. It kills my mother to see that,
yes. I think yes.
you know?
It's for your mom. Yes.
Exactly. So for me, it was always comb your hair and shave your beard, right? Shave your, or just go shave, right? Those are the most common for me. So, and then now my significant other, I don't want to say girlfriend, yani, but the girl that I will most likely marry, she also tells me, yani, shave, right? They don't like to see facial hair, none of them.
Yes, actually, in United States, it's very rarely situation when we saw
Yeah.
a man with hairs in his face. Yes,
Some
even
guys keep it.
even
Some guys, yeah.
mustache and I don't know.
Yeah. It's
No,
much more
not
it's
all the
much more
time.
common
Yes, maybe it's for
with older people. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. For me, it's always been a problem. I can never keep it. I want to just grow it once to see yani how it looks. Because even when it's a little bit, everybody in the world tells me shave it, shave it, shave it, right? So maybe
Okay, maybe when you
I'll go in the forest one day. I'll grow it out for 2 months, and then nobody will see me.
yes.
And yeah, but that's where what we see, right? So those are imperatives, right? When you give someone a command, and the verb itself does not change, right? So when we are discussing the imperative, right? Another example of this is that there are actually four common ways to deal with the imperative, right? So the first one is to just give a direct order. Close the door, wash the dishes, shave your beard, right? Those are all direct commands. However, we can also even give an even more simple and easily understood instruction, right? So let's say you're reading an instruction manual, and the instruction manual says, remove remove from plastic and assemble the pieces, right? Whatever. I mean, maybe you're opening up something,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a very simple
Yes.
description. So the first one was a basic command, wash the dishes. Second one is much more simple, stop, push, on a door, stop, push,
Yes.
pull, right? Those are all commands. These are all
Mm-hmm.
imperative forms. And the third example is, for example, if you are inviting someone to your house, فضل يعني فضل يا باشا, they're coming in البيت بيتك يعني, like you open the door and you show them, you say, come on inside, come into my house, right? A little bit more polite, right? Come
Yes.
on in, please make yourselves at home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Please make yourselves
Make
at
yourself.
home.
Yes.
And that's something that is
Mm-hmm.
very polite. Please take your seat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Please take a seat. Like, please take a seat. Please make yourselves comfortable. Those things. That's another way to give a command. That's a little bit more polite, right? And also the fourth and final type that we're looking at. So the first was direct command, wash your dishes. Second one was simple command, stop, push, pull. The third one is very polite, when you are instructing somebody to do something, when they're at your house, when they're getting in your car, whatever, you open the door for them. The fourth example is if you're giving somebody friendly advice, right? You can give people friendly advice. You can say, for example, what do doctors say, right? Drink some water and take rest, right? And get some rest, right? So they're very similar. I mean, I guess the first example we can think of maybe what the mother says to the child: wash the dishes, shave your beard. The second example is what we see for the general public. Stop sign just says stop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Third example is someone comes to your home. And the fourth example is when you are maybe speaking to a friend, when you are encouraging somebody, helping somebody, um, uh, you know, helping them with some issue or whatever that they need help with, right? So, and then the very last category, right? Because this is a pretty easy topic. The very last category is if we have an imperative that's in the negative form, right? And where do we see this? We see this a lot in, for example, public places. Do not smoke,
Mm-hmm.
right? Do not play loud music, right? Do not pass. For example, on the highway, some highways are special highways. You are not allowed to pass the other
Mm-hmm.
cars, right? So do not pass, right? No passing.
And yes,
Yeah.
and the signs in uh, behind the hospitals, they said, I think, no noise, do not. I think the car's voice. They this mean that don't. I don't know the name. Beep the
The
car. What's the name?
the horn.
Yes.
Don't
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 horn.
sound your horn. Don't sound your
Yes.
horn.
Yes. Don't
Yes.
sound your car or
And
your horn.
in American English, we actually say don't honk.
Don't talk.
Honk, honk.
Honk. Uh-huh.
Yeah, honk is the same as the like the thing that
Yes.
cars do,
Okay.
right? That's honk, right? So don't
Mm-hmm.
honk or don't sound your horn. Both of those
Yeah.
are important. Don't park. Don't park here,
Yes.
right?
Don't bark. Yes.
Yeah, many places don't park here, right? So give me an example, Emmy, then, of the first type. So the first type we looked at, Yani, it was just like what the parents say.
Yes.
The second type, what is a simple command that you can give somebody that you see, for example, like maybe like in a public place, maybe in the mall? What's a simple command?
Second type.
Yeah, the second type was a simple command, like push, pull,
Yes.
those kinds of things. What's another one maybe that you can think of?
Um.
Maybe you're reading a book and the book is telling you what to do, right? That's another way to think about it. So maybe you're reading a software book and it's telling you,
Uh, yes. For example, restart your computer.
fantastic. Please
Yes.
start your computer. Double click on the desktop
Yes.
icon,
Mm-hmm.
right? Those are all very simple commands. What about the third one when you are inviting someone to your house?
Polite.
Yeah,
Yes. Take a nap.
take a nap. Okay, yeah. Somebody comes to your house and the first thing you say is take a nap. Okay, great. That's great.
Or drink some tea, for example. Yes.
Well, let's make it a little bit more polite. How would you say even more polite if you were offering
Yes.
somebody tea? How would you say that?
I think it's like a question, right? Do you want some tea?
So yeah, that's another topic that we look at in Colingo, right? Polite questions. But if you want to just tell them, you know, no questions, what's a good way to just tell them? Somebody sat down, you have, gahwa or whatever, you
Yes.
have tea, and you are asking them to have it. In a command, how could you say that maybe?
Please drink your coffee.
Please drink coffee. Or you know what? Even more polite. This is something that is like if Sultan Obama came to my
Mm-hmm.
place, I would say, please help yourself to some tea,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yes, make
Please,
yourself comfortable.
exactly, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's like the most elite level of polite, right? Very
Mm-hmm.
polite. Please help yourself to some coffee and juice. Right?
Yes.
Please help yourself to some snacks, right? Please
Uh-huh.
make yourself at home. Please make yourselves comfortable. Please take a seat. So those are
Get,
very nice ways.
yes, you say other sentence, it's get yourself free. Uh,
Please
get,
make yourselves comfortable. Or I'm sorry, what was the
yes.
other one? What was the other one? For free?
It's in get, I think. Get yourself or get
Please get
rest.
yourself.
Get rest. I think you use the get.
Oh, please get some rest.
Yes, get some rest.
Yeah, but the get some rest you don't really want to say to somebody who comes to your house. Get some rest is
Yes, yes.
something that you would
Mm-hmm.
say to maybe the advice, right?
Yes, yes.
Like a
I
doctor
just wanna
telling
write
the
it. Okay.
sure,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Please get some rest. Drink some water and get some rest.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So
Yes.
that's something maybe you're telling a friend, maybe you're telling your family, somebody is sick, not feeling that well, please get yourself,
Yes.
please drink some water, please get some rest, right?
Yes.
And what about an example in the negative form that we see?
For example, uh, don't yes, don't shut down your computer until the programmer ends. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Please don't shut down your computer
Don't.
until the program ends.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way to think
Or
about it. Yeah, what else? Yeah.
yes. Don't walk, for example, from or don't pass. Yes, you said, but it's no, it's like sign. Okay.
Uh-huh. So
Don't
those are all,
don't eat
yes.
much fat. Yes.
Yeah, don't eat too many fats in your uh, meals, right? Or whatever the case may
Yes.
be. Yeah, so those are all good examples. Um, what about, so if we think about the other aspect of it, so I'm just trying to think of the
Don't
location.
sleep here, for example.
Yeah, don't sleep here, right? Those are good. Those are all good ways of thinking about it. Um, I'm trying to think of any other ones that maybe we are thinking about. Hmm. I think that's good. I think that's a good overview of what we want to cover. And so, do we have any questions about those, Emmy, so far?
No, it's
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, this is a pretty simple, actually. It's a nice
Yes.
subject matter.
Actually, it's the grammar name is strange for us. This week, this week, it's have a lots of grammar names. Me and my friend, she said also the same thing. We thought that it's hard because it's new nouns for us to know this type or the name of the grammar, but it's actually it's easy.
Hmm. Yeah, imperative is really just another way of saying, like, when we use the word imperative as an adjective, it means something that is necessary. right? Like if somebody says this is imperative, like it's used in many, it's used officially in maybe government, in the news, you know, it's imperative that you do this. That means it's really important that you do this. It's crucial that you do this, right?
Yes.
But in the sense of grammar, it means the command form, really, giving somebody a command. So let us take a look at the article here. I'm going to paste it in the chat window. I'm going to screen share also so that we can see it. And this article actually comes from a newspaper that I never heard of before called The News Scientist, or The New Scientist, actually. And it's interesting because it talks about a topic that really, I think, affects people who are language learners. So it really affects people like you and me who are in the business of understanding languages, and we enjoy learning about languages. And really, I mean, with the internet as a tool that we use today for so many different things, there is a high risk of people copying information from different sources. Like, for example, if somebody is on Colingo and they don't know English that well, let's say, they're still practicing. If I ask them a question, they could be looking up the answers on Google as I speak, right? They could be finding examples, like if you wanted to go on Sheikh Google and write, you know, imperative, you would get so many examples, right?
Yes.
You wouldn't need to necessarily think that hard during the lesson, and I would have no way of knowing if you were
Yes.
actually understanding the material or if you were just reading from a website, right?
Yes, but and we do it all the time, Farhan.
MashaAllah,
Because
MashaAllah.
yes, because some words when we, for example, read the articles, it's this is the important, not the grammar. Yes, we wanna, yeah, we don't look at the grammars for the website when the teacher is studying us, but in the articles, a lot of time we just catch the words, maybe sentences, and put it, for example, in the Google translation
Yeah,
to
no,
understand, yes, the main idea.
that's really
So
good.
it's good or bad.
No, that's really good. That's actually really good. I really like the fact that words that seem difficult, like vocabulary words, if you guys are using vocabulary words for dictionaries for that, that's a great way to learn, right? Especially because you are building that resource knowledge. Like you know how to use a dictionary well. You know how to use definitions and look things up and research words that you don't know. That's perfect. I actually really encourage that. But if somebody is just reading from another page on imperatives and not even trying to give an example, then that's where it's a little bit more difficult, right?
So you meant the grammars examples to get just
Yeah,
examples for no.
yeah,
Yes, we
yeah.
understand.
Exactly,
Because we
exactly.
must they must correct us for a lots of grammars rules. Yes.
Exactly, exactly. So yeah, that's good. I like the fact that people use dictionaries. That's actually very important. But so now, looking at the bigger picture here, so let's take a look at this article, and we are saying this article is very interesting. It's saying that talking about the foreign language copycat catcher, right? So copycat in English, when we use this word copycat means someone who copies, right? Someone who cheats, someone who maybe has is used to cheating, right? Doesn't really, do
Do his
anything.
own work. Yes.
Exactly, exactly. That's a copycat. So lazy students, take note. Lifting an article off the internet, translating it into another language, and presenting it as your own work won't necessarily go unnoticed. It used to be really tough to spot this kind of plagiarism. Plagiarism in English is the official word for copying, right? So whenever you
Yes.
see plagiarism, it's the very, like academically we say plagiarism. Universities say
Yes.
plagiarism, right?
Yes.
It used to be really tough to spot this kind of plagiarism, thanks to the creativity on the part of online translators. Not anymore. A team led by Alberto Barron Sereno at the Polytechnic University of Catalonia, Spain, used a number of statistical methods to analyze suspicious-looking documents. One involved breaking each text down into fragments that were 5 sentences long and looking for elements of words that were similar in 2 languages. Another method used a bilingual dictionary to automatically check how many words in each text were the same. The documents could also be translated into a language with a common root to make the analysis easier. The
Uh,
results, yeah, go ahead.
just can you just this paragraph? Can you discuss explain it for me? Use
Yeah,
bilingual dictionary. What's
by a
the
bilingual dictionary,
by yes
it's a dictionary with
automatically?
2 languages. So an Arabic
Uh-huh.
English dictionary, a Spanish English
Yes.
dictionary, that's an example of a bilingual dictionary, a dictionary with 2 languages in it. So
Mm-hmm.
Sheikh Google Translate, right? It's a bilingual
Yes.
dictionary. You put in something in one language, it gives you the answer in another language.
Okay. But how
So
they will check if it's cheating or not?
yeah, so this team is saying, that they take, for example, let's say I tell you to write me a paper in
Mm.
English, right? So
Yes.
what they will do is they will look at your essay, this software will look at your essay, and it will compare what you wrote in an Arabic English dictionary, maybe, right?
Mm-hmm.
To see
Uh-huh.
if there are words in each of these dictionaries that are used maybe more than statistically significant, maybe. Like, you know how they say the probability of something is low if in math they have something called the chi-square ratio or the chi-square factor. Like statistics, it's maybe within the lowest fifth percentile that something
Mm-hmm.
is significant statistically. If they find repeated, signs that, wow, this sentence from in Arabic on this website is the exact same when translated by Sheikh Google as we
Mm-hmm.
see in this paper,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's it's I don't know how powerful this software is, but it seems that this dictionary that they're using can automatically check the words in each of these languages.
Mm-hmm.
And that way they might be able to figure out what is going on, right? So
Mm.
the results
Okay.
surprised even them, even the researchers. The results surprised even them. Their technique showed remarkable performance, not only in identifying entire documents that had been copied, but in spotting tracts that had made use of excessive paraphrasing too, right? So paraphrasing, when we say paraphrasing in English, right, this phrase means a smart copycat does paraphrasing, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
if you are copying and pasting directly from Sheikh Google into your paper, then that's not very smart, right?
Yes.
Paraphrasing means you change the idea and you change maybe the order of the words, but you don't
Yes.
change the idea, right? So instead, so like this, if I wanted to paraphrase this paragraph, I could
Mm-hmm.
say, I could say, the scientists translated in the scientists used a common root language analyzer to translate the documents,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you see how this last sentence, I'm just changing the order. The
Yes.
scientists use a
Yes.
common root analyzer to analyze the documents or to
Mm-hmm.
translate the documents, right? So they're saying that this software is so powerful that it not only catches people who directly copy, but also can catch people who use excessive paraphrasing, who do a lot of paraphrasing, right?
Oh, yes.
Which in the university level, paraphrasing is also counted as plagiarism, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if you say, something about, if you write a paragraph about like Jeddah and I change maybe just the order and I say this is my paper, even though it's not the same exact order, it is still considered paraphrasing and it's still
Yes.
considered plagiarism,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's a risk that these students are running into, but that this document, this software can apparently
Mm.
catch, right? So if a document is flagged by the system as being similar to another, then human experts can take a closer look, right? So
Mm.
That's the idea. So it's
We
using.
will hack these programs.
I know that's what it seems like. You guys don't want to have these programs available, but
No.
universities have been using these programs in the United States for many years, many years.
Yes. Yes,
Even
I
high
know that.
schools, even
Yes.
high schools use this. Yeah. So.
Yes, I have some friend. I have a friend of mine. It's not a friend. It was like my student. She asked me some programs text to do it. She was taking master degree in London.
Hmm.
She asked me for that, and I don't make researches for student actually. But she told me about that. Doctors are catch a lot of Saudi people.
Hmm.
So they because they have these programs in universities and
It's
they
a very
catch
serious
them.
thing.
Yes, and say no, it's zero. They all of the student take zero because they yes take that's like paraphrasing.
Paraphrasing, yeah.
Paraphrase.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes,
I
and
I
use
know
it.
students who got. I know students in my university. If you plagiarized, then you failed a course.
Wow.
Not just that exam or not just that paper. They just gave you an F for the course
Yes.
because the
Yes, this
teachers
is
said
yes.
that there's no guarantee that maybe you did this before and we just didn't catch it.
Yes.
Right?
Actually, it's have also benefits for the student and for the doctor because now it's the internet is open for all and all researches. Even some boxes are also online now.
Yeah.
So how the student can they practice if they just catch or copycat the article or some researches and just do it and print it and okay send it to the teachers. It's hard actually. So and I know that in United States and it's not in here in Middle East but in United States I know that before internet that the researches was hard. You must go to the library and must catch the information from the lots of boxes and do your own words. But because the internet, yes, that's make the lazy student do it all the time.
Yeah,
So
and
this is the important way to do to catch the cheatings. Yes.
yeah, I have written papers until my hands started to bleed, right? I mean, as a history, I studied history and biology. I mean, so much writing. Like my main paper, like my senior class paper in my last year of university was, I think, 175 pages. Like it was a book. Like it was.
Yes.
I started researching in September and I finished in May. Like the entire paper was done in May,
Wow.
and we had to be extremely careful. We use research materials. I read books, I read magazines, I read articles, I interviewed people, websites, I mean
Yes.
everything, and everything had to be 100% correct. Like my own words, no paraphrasing, no plagiarizing, no even hint of plagiarizing, not even a 1% chance of plagiarizing,
Yes.
because it is
It's
a
hard.
disaster if you plagiarize. I mean, they will fail you in that class, right? I
Yes.
mean, it's a very serious thing. So, and I think because the internet age is now that much easier, the internet allows such easy research into any topic, right? The students still need to be working hard at something, right? The challenge for the students in the past was, how do I find the information?
Yes, these articles or this subject in a lot of boxes. Yes,
Exactly. And now the challenge is not finding. Now the challenge is internalizing that information, making that
yes,
information in my
yes,
own language, right?
yes. Make your own, use your own words to do
Eh,
it. Yes,
Absolutely, absolutely. So I think personally, I agree. I mean, I have known many cheaters in my life who I would work very hard and make sure that I never plagiarized and I never did anything. And some of these clowns, they actually did plagiarize and they never got caught. right? They were lucky. They just never got caught. Maybe their teachers didn't check as much as they should or whatever. So whatever, I mean, lakum dinukum waliya din, whatever. Like, I mean,
Yes.
there's really nothing else we can do. But it's interesting. So do you think, Emmy, that so you did mention the first question I had you actually answered. The first question I had was, do you use online language dictionaries to help you with English? And I think you do.
Yes.
For
Yes.
example,
All the
Google
time. All
Translate.
the time. Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Everyone should. Everyone should use these tools.
Mhm.
And then, why do you think people cheat or copy on papers and exams? Is it just because of laziness, or are there other reasons?
I think yes, it's lazy because they don't study actually, or sometimes
So do you think
no,
maybe?
I don't know actually. I don't know why they are cheating, but it's if there's no goal for their lives, I think everyone will cheat.
Mhm.
But if you wanna, like you said, Farhan, I am sure that your friends that are cheating now are as not is not much uh, uh, in their works are successful as you are, right? Because they didn't study at the time that they should be study, but you were study. Yes, I see that also in my father life. I see him. He's very educational man. He has a lots of informations about the histories, English histories, because he is specialist in uh, English literature.
Literature, uh-huh.
Yes, so he have a lots of informations about history, Islamic histories, in all centuries, in uh, um, American histories, how Indian histories. He has a lots of information. I told him, okay, when did you have chance to read all this and remember all these informations? He said, I was study at school. I
Mhm.
was just staying in the tree and just reading all the time. I love to read. Other friends of him, no, yeah, they have the same degree, but now if you ask him any question about, for example, okay, let's be nearest Islamic history, they will not remember this what they study at the schools.
Mhm.
And I am it's before maybe 4 months, I think I was crying for myself. I said after I hear from that from him, I said, okay, I just study for 12 years at school, and I didn't make this goal for my life. If I make it, okay, I was excellent student, yes, but I didn't make the goal to just read it for the
For the
for the
enjoyment.
yes, for the
Yeah.
enjoyment, for the interesting, not just because to get a plus.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
similar, so
yes.
similar with me. I'm in the same situation.
No, I am wallahi, I was very crying because I said, okay, 12 years from my life it lost
Yeah.
because I didn't remember anything. Now I remember, if my father tell me any stories, I am sure that we take it from in schools. But I will not remember because it's not was my mission to remember it after I finish the semester.
Yeah.
So it's hard, yes. So I think it's not just lazy students. They don't know the goal for studying also.
Yeah, and it depends, honestly. I mean, I think it depends a lot on interest, right? Some things interest people differently. Like I love history, right?
Yes,
I feel like your father and me, we have that same kind of mental, and we get that same level of mental understanding, that personal enjoyment, personal satisfaction from
yes,
reading information, learning information, and retaining that information, keeping that information, right?
yes,
It's something that we enjoy doing. Like I can have a conversation with anybody about really any part of history because I just love that stuff. But
Yes,
other people don't. I mean, and it's completely fine. Like my sister, she loves other things. She loves art. So she can talk about art history. Art history to me
yes,
is very boring. I don't
yes,
enjoy it, you know.
yes,
But she can have a great conversation with anybody who enjoys art. She goes to museums, she knows artists and paintings and
yes,
all this stuff, right? So
yes,
really, it's about interest, you know. I mean, other people are really good scientists. They're very good at math and science and all that stuff.
yes,
And you know, I am really, I mean, I can do math, but it's not, I don't get enjoyment from doing math, right?
yes, yes,
So
yes, you're right.
part of that as well is I think important to know. But so I think when I look at my situation as a student, you know, when I was a student, I think maybe another reason why people may cheat is if they are just completely overworked and they have no time to do the research and no time to sit and write the essays by
Yes,
themselves, you
yes,
know?
actually you're right. And we say this in university. Yes, a lot of projects was very hard to do it because no time. Not because we are lazy or because uh yes, it's no time. Actually there is no time for doing researches.
Yeah,
Yes, my friend that she asked me to do researches. I told her I don't make researches for students. Actually, I don't like to research and put some informations and do that. She said we are looking for someone to do it for us because we don't have time. Actually,
yeah.
it's not because we are lazy or something. Yes,
There's so much going on. I mean, there's only 24 hours in a day and at least 8 hours for sleep and 16 hours for
yes,
everything else. I mean, it's very difficult to, with the balance of work sometimes, or with the amount of work that we get, it's very difficult to keep up with it.
yes.
So I think that's another reason also. So um, what about, you know, how do we, is it possible, do you think, so this company in Spain, whatever, this university has now decided to begin the process of catching copycats and catching cheaters when it comes to translation between different languages, right? Before, at least in the English-speaking world, we have had for many years now, from even when I was in high school, so high school was
Mm-hmm.
like 6, 7 years for me ago. We have computers and software that can check in one language. Now they're saying we can check
Multi-language.
multiple languages exactly, multilingual, right? So, but do you think, Emmy, is it possible? Will it ever be possible to catch and prevent all forms of cheating? It doesn't matter how much software you have, or you know, you can have.
Uh, can you repeat the question? Do
Yeah,
you think it's
do you think it's going to be possible to prevent all the different types of cheating?
no, no, I am sure they will not catch all that. And maybe it's just some paragraphs, maybe it's in the in the research in one research they can catch all the cheatings and stuff because I think the students are more clever for that. They are now know that there is some programs are for multi-language and some so we must take something from here and mix it together
Hmm.
and do some yes so I think it's and I know uh, the softwares are not so smart as we think
Yeah.
so if the human would be so smart or smarter than softwares so I think they they will find new ways to cheating.
Yeah, you know, I think the implementation also is very difficult because, I mean, consider the amount of work it is on the teacher's part to run all of these papers in through a software, right?
Yeah.
Maybe honestly, maybe it doesn't take that much time. Maybe it's very quick that maybe it's a program you just run on your
Yes, I am
desktop.
just all the time thinking as a programmer, thinking how do they use these programs. I think they're just searching for this article in the lots of searching in the internet all the time. So I think, but I am sure that it will take time to to discover if it's cheating or not. I meant now in the same language, يعني.
Yeah.
not the multi-language, but it's as programmers I say it's hard and take time to catch this, uh, and I think because they say that the program, my friend, she said that the doctor said that you take this article from this website, or so it's discovered what the information, not just okay it's cheating or not, no, discover the information is where and from and in what page, for example, or what chapter.
Hmm.
So I think it's hard, it's take time to catch or to give the output or the informations that the teacher wanna discover.
Hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that is where it gets difficult, because it's not easy to you know I mean, multilingual. Think of all the hundreds of languages that people can use, and there are software languages that are secret languages that people use. I mean, just think about all the different like codes and mathematical ways to analyze information. If I want to write English using numbers, I can write English using numbers. Like there are mathematical conversion languages and things like that. It's very easy to defeat, I think, these software programs, and it's the smart cheaters, like we said, are going to be they are going to be smarter than we think.
Yes, but don't worry about that, because I am sure that the programming of these uh, uh, applications or these programs are easy. Yes, they are not so hard as you think. I'm
Hmm.
sure it's not so hard as you think. They can connect it with Google Translation, for example, and
Hmm.
just okay copy this article and paste it in the Google Translate. So they
Hmm.
use extra applications that it already uh, built, and they just translate it in okay maybe three main languages.
Hmm.
For example, Spanish, English, French, for example,
Hmm.
French, any maybe two language. I will say maybe two or three languages, and they just after that they do the same things that your schools have strategies for the check cheating strategies, and yes, the same programs that United States use it
Hmm.
in one language. Yes.
Yeah. I think it's fun. I think it's interesting. I think personally, I think universities should invest their time and energy and finances to figure out, what kinds of tools they can use and then implement those tools if it comes to, because, I want to preserve as a student, as a former student, and as a future student, I'm not done with education. I really find the academic integrity is what we like to say in English. Universities use this a lot, right? Academic integrity, maintaining the integrity of honest academic work, right? It's so important. It's so
Yes.
important to do that.
Uh, and they must have less projects or searches for the student actually, so
Hmm.
they can do it for themselves. A lots of students they don't do it. Maybe okay, we want maybe they hire someone
Hmm.
to use it for his own words
Hmm.
and do the searches. It's also it's not useful for the student for that.
Yeah,
So
and
they must have less hours or limitations, less limitations for example, how many pages for the research or how many. words in the in the
Essay
page.
in the paper, yeah,
Yes,
exactly, exactly. And I think I mean, I personally know people who told me that they paid other people to write their homework,
yes, yes.
you
Here
know.
is common in yes. I told you my friend in London. She asked me for money. She asked me to do it with payment. Oh, I told her I don't do it for. I don't do researches. She said she will looking for other to do it,
Yeah.
and they will pay money for them
You know,
because they were in groups.
I
Yes.
was I was offered, I think somebody offered me $30 a page.
Wow.
That's a lot of money. I mean,
Yes.
if I write 10 pages, and I can easily write 10 pages if I study the material, understand it, that's $300. I mean, just
Yes.
on top of what I'm doing, on the side. And
Yes.
it's bad. I mean, I didn't say yes to this person, but had he said 50, I would have said yes. Wallahi, yeah. I'm just joking, right? $50 a page is too much to
You will
refuse.
not
Yeah,
work. Okay, stay at home
yeah,
and open your office.
exactly. And I don't have to do anything, right?
Yes.
But I was negotiating. I said 35, yeah, and he said no, 30, 30. He didn't he didn't go higher. But I mean, I was joking with him. I think he knew that I wasn't going to write the paper, but people
Yes.
do. A lot of people do. I mean, and they are even there are now Harvard University, probably the best university in the U.S., one of the best in the world, is currently investigating. They have investigated and they have found that there was a massive cheating program within the students in their freshman class, in their first year class, right? So
Mm,
last year, the students that were accepted into Harvard for their first year. We hate Harvard. Like my university hates Harvard.
yes.
We are big rivals. Like we are their biggest enemies. So when Harvard, all this stuff happened, we were very happy at my university because we know that they are cheaters, So and it was very embarrassing for the university. Now they are trying very hard. They have new programs to stop cheating, maybe to decrease the amount of work that the students need to
Mm,
do, So yeah, it's
yes.
interesting, but I don't know. It's difficult. I know students who have cheated on their SAT exams, like one of the most important exams for college to enter college in the United States. It's
Mm,
something that so many people. I mean, in the United States, it's impossible to cheat on this because
yes.
really you have to be extremely clever, and some people have done it. I mean,
Hmm.
news articles. One guy, he took each exam he charged $500, and he is so good at this exam that everybody he took the exam for was able to get like top 10% of the scores,
Hmm.
and they didn't do anything. I mean, like the actual students didn't do anything. And now I heard that the company that designs that test has hired this cheater as a consultant so that he can catch other cheaters.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
And they do that a lot in the hacking world. They get hackers, like celebrated hackers, and they buy the hackers to check to catch other hackers. You
Yes,
know,
I know this. Yes, we do
it's
here also in the Saudi Arabia.
it's so good. I love that. Like
Yes,
you can be
because
a
no one,
cheater.
it's not something you will study it in university or to be have degrees
Yeah,
to, yes, you must think as they think. You
absolutely,
must, yes, coding as they code.
absolutely,
So
absolutely.
you can catch them. Yes.
Super interesting. Super interesting. Anyway, I mean, that's the end of class. So, did you have any
Okay.
questions on imperatives or any of the other things we talked about?
No.
Okay,
Yes, it
fantastic.
was nice class.
Awesome. Yeah, I know. I was surprised nobody else joined. Maybe it's too late on a Saturday. I think people are enjoying their weekends, like Wilson and all those folks. So,
Yes, it's
yeah.
It's Saturday night here. How? What time is it in?
Here it's 11:07. Also in Mexico and Lima and Bolivia, it's
11.
11:07. Yeah,
Yes.
11 o'clock. So
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yes, it's Saturday. It's Sunday night, right?
Well, here it's Saturday night still.
Saturday night, yeah, Saturday
Yeah.
night.
People are
So
relaxing.
no one, everyone is going out.
Exactly.
I
And
think.
drinking, getting drunk.
Yeah, drinking.
Yeah.
Here we are. You will not see us. Yesterday, I didn't take any lessons yesterday because the problem of my laptop, and
Yeah.
because it's Friday, so it's our weekend.
يوم
So it's
الجمعة.
rare. يوم الجمعة.
Exactly. That's good.
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, inshallah, I hope to see you again at another class and tomorrow night. So, important thing to remember, right? My classes, the schedule is changing. So, tomorrow I have a class from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So, when we say in the United States, uh, so yani, like
Central.
it's
Yes.
very early in Saudi. It's like it's
You.
night in
Okay.
Saudi. It's night in Saudi, so it's not going to work.
Uh-huh.
But starting Monday through Friday, and this time will always be on Saturdays. So this time that we just had this 1 hour class is going to remain on Saturdays. Starting from Monday
Mm-hmm.
through from this Monday through every Friday, Monday through Friday, all the weekdays, my class will start 1 hour earlier. So it's going to be, before it was, I started my class at 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. Now it's going to start at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. So it might be very early for you in Saudi, but
Nice.
we'll be able to
Yes.
catch. Maybe we'll be able to catch time on the weekend or something like that. So because 9 p.m.
Yes,
Central
maybe
Standard
at the
Time,
weekend.
let's see, Riyadh time is, so Riyadh difference between
Yes,
here and
it's
Riyadh
5.
is 8 hours. So it will be 5 o'clock. Yep, it'll be 5 o'clock in the morning in Saudi.
Yes.
Yeah. So because I now my morning schedule has changed. I need to go to work a lot earlier. So I wanted to increase or push back my class 1 hour so that I
Yes.
would have more time to sleep.
Uh-huh.
So yeah. But yeah, sounds
Okay.
good. If you have questions, let me know through
Okay.
Facebook or other stuff too if you have any questions and things like that.
Okay.
Awesome.
Inshallah. Okay.
Inshallah. All right. Well, have a great
Thank
Sunday,
you,
and
Farhan.
don't worry about your laptop stuff. That's just it's just a small thing. You'll be able to overcome that,
Yes.
inshallah.
Yes.
All right.
Inshallah. Thank
Okay.
you, Farhan.
Take care.
See you.
No problem. See you later.
Inshallah. Bye.
See you. Bye.
Oh,
Hey, Emmy, how's it going?
hi. Good morning. Good evening.
And it's only me, so good evening.
Yes.
How's everything going?
Uh, everything is okay.
Nice, that's good. How was your Friday, I should say?
Oh, Friday. It was a disaster, my Friday this weekend.
How
Oh,
come?
uh, my laptop. I told my husband we must format my laptop that has 7 years of work on it. And I didn't make backup because he's intelligent in these things. I told him, okay, all the files on